Jesus Christ, this story gets
Chapter
more and more
8.
insane. This just gets more and more insane.
The cold, hard truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments.
Oh goodness, sorry.
Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
Ooh, that does look chilly. Ooh. That was intense. Yeah. I think I might have potted with some fluids in there. Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold. Doesn't look like it got on any of us. It didn't feel like we travelled that far. So where did it all go? This place sucks. Why would anyone even want to blow something up out here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. We've got to catch up to Nuncreed. I think he went this way. Oy. Is this Narnia? I think it could be. It's very Narnia-ish, isn't it? We're waiting for Mr. Tumnus to pop out. Okay, we're in Beacon Pines. This looks familiar, yeah. Maybe we can clear off the snow? No time, Nuncreed's getting away. It's the Beacon Pines. It's all the same. But winter? What is this? Okay, this is starting to feel really familiar. I may not be the most well versed on all things Beacon Pines, but this does look like some sort of frozen replica of town. Ah, I got it! It's so obvious now. Mr. Nuncreed is an alien. Righto. Stick with me here. His species can only live in sub-zero temperatures. Oh boy, here we go. The source is their base camp dimension, so naturally they kept it cold. We found it by traveling through those metallic wormholes back there. The final objective? Kill us all and shape-shift into Beacon Pines citizens of their choosing. You never really had me, but you very much lost me there. We get used to it. You get used to it. We should keep moving. Can we get through there? No. Oh, I love the snowy sounds. Okay, so this is where Perennial Harvest is.
As they rounded the corner to the frozen
Holy
town square,
shit.
they spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously toward a pit at its center.
Holy shit.
He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild. Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you this is not going to solve anything. If you drop that, you've doomed this whole town. Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done. You and your co-conspirators. Gran? What's happening? Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this moment.
Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma, Luca. This is between me and Juniper.
Rollo and Beck held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer.
Oh shit.
Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
You got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over that torch. You don't understand what you're doing. How can I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you, and you betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
That's not true.
They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
Walt was like a brother to me. We just had different ideas about how to affect change. Very convenient that your way just happened to line your pockets. Now that's not fair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge. Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions. The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage. And in the stillness, he began to weep. It was all just too much.
It is a lot.
Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow. Gran stared at Luca for a moment with warm sympathy, remembering why this was all necessary.
This will all make sense soon, Luca. Then everything can go back to normal. I promise.
She stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed.
You can't hide behind those people any longer, Joseph. Once that precious source is destroyed, we'll see where their loyalties fall. Juniper, don't.
Ignoring his final plea, Gran flung the torch into the deep. She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud.
You see, Joseph, I've learned one very important lesson in life. If you want things to change, then you must be willing to...
Before Gran could finish, the ground shook her to silence.
Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Not again! Not again!
Gran only had time to spin around and run to Luca. Her attempt to shield him, an honorable but trifling act. Unflinching love, pitted against an unthinking horror.
Oh, jeez.
There was no contest.
Again?
Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever. And so,
Damn
our
it!
story ends on this
No,
melancholy
it can't.
scene.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
In a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers.
Jeez.
The end.
No, not the end.
Well, that was dire. On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from.
Yeah.
Now, we just need to find a way to deal with a mystic, unfathomable force of nature.
Oh, Jesus. I've got nothing else I can do there. I've got nothing else I can do there. Nothing else I can do there. Or there. Or there. The only thing I can do is change this. Oh, we're back here. Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight.
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches.
boy.
He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr. We'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Eggy. See ya, jerks! So we're back to this storyline. Fine. We know where that leads them. This way, we'll take the tunnels.
Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket.
If we didn't know about the tunnels, though, we'd be like, what the fuck? So, I think we're doing this in the right order. I feel confident we're still doing this in the right order.
The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice.
I can't remember the voice I did for Iggy, but something bullyish.
In fact, it was ice.
Oh no, not ice again.
Chapter 5.
We're back to chapter 5.
Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath.
Oh no.
The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
Oh my goodness, here we are. That was actually pretty badass. Uh-huh. I think we lost them. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill? Then what's up with the Winter Wonderland? All I know is there's no going back the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. Find a way home. Can we go this way? Luca, are you there?
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
Is it that bozo Kerr? Is it Kerr? I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those woods.
Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be rude.
With a resigned sigh, Luca responded.
Seems like the only thing dangerous in this woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy howdy, you Van Hoyens are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mum sure was a handful.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
I'm gonna go with Kerr's voice for this. We gotta keep moving. So this is the graveyard, which means that this would be our house, but it's not there. What's the readout? Sitting above 258 Kelvin. It's a bit down from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Still within safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. What the heck? What's all this? Hard to say with all this snow. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out our letters under there. What town could this even be? There couldn't be another town this deep into Wheatwood. I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1, snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do. Can we knock it down with a rock?
The boys stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, Welcome to Beacon Pines.
This doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines? How's that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back? I guess we got turned around? Where did all this snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. This is a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. The puddle we fought at before, that was cold too. Maybe all of this leads to one source. You think it's related? What the hell is going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving.
The fencing glistened, each chain link encapsulated with a translucent layer of ice.
Looks like the stuff they put up around Weepworks. The stuff who put up? I don't know. It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Aww. Whatever happened here, it happened fast. The fish didn't even have time to run. Or, swim, run.
The crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all of this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic Hank Atomic stories. We aren't gonna save the day. We aren't even gonna save ourselves. My face is mangled. The town is destroyed. And everyone we've ever known is gone. We don't know that. You can't just quit. Do whatever you want. He's just gonna stay there. I'm done. Iggy, it's gonna be okay.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion and more than a little guilt.
It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
Let's just rest for a bit.
The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort.
Aww.
If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence. No.
Oh dear. The way the snow covered everything over is kind of calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps. I sorta froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper. Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gun could do. You didn't, right? Of course not. And second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. I did lose my temper.
Iggy motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Jeez, you goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. Why would you go around saying cruel things just to get into fights?
Iggy shrugged.
It's just something I do. You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Rolo are always having a blast together, laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse mission control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Perfect little Luca Van Horn with his perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. Not everybody. Even that new girl, she hasn't even unpacked yet, and even she already likes you. You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great, but she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know?
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I get that impression.
Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
It must be raining out here. Definitely.
Iggy arched into a wide yawn.
We should probably get some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow we'll get to the bottom of all of this.
Luca's eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
Luca? Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
When it comes to worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad.
The house smelled of warm bread. Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug.
Memory.
He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. "This is how you remember them, huh?" Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. Aww, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you? Luca snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Well, let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. Now, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading, "I can't lose you." Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this.
What the heck?
Eleanor raised her voice. "Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son?" Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. "Luca, is that you, buddy?" With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. "Mom? Dad? What's going on?" Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. "Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all." Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. "It sounded like you were going somewhere." Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. "Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in." Luca hugged his father tightly. "Promise?" Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. "I promise." With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun.